Myself Nagarjuna B, Computer Science Lecturer, POSFET. In this video I am explaining regarding what is an C token, types of C tokens. Do click on like button as well as an subscribe button for the purpose of encouraging and uploading more videos regarding C language. First, what is an C tokens? The basic and the smallest units of a C program are called as an C tokens. So in every language, the basic and the smallest thing whatever is present in a language, those are called as an tokens. Similarly, in C language, the basic as well as the smallest things which are present, those are called as an C tokens. The C tokens in a C language has been classified into 6 types. Those are keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, operators, and special symbols. So these are the different types of C tokens present in an programming language. So first token is keywords. Keywords are standard identifiers that have standard predefined meaning in C. Keywords are all in lowercase letters. The keywords meaning in any circumstances cannot be changed. That means you cannot alter or make any changes to the keywords meaning. These have been already defined and those should be used the way for which it has been defined. In C, both uppercase and lowercase letters are significant. Keywords are also called as an reserved words. The points to remember regarding the keywords are keywords can be used only for the intended purpose. That means for which purpose it has been defined, only for that purpose you need to use the keywords. You cannot use for the other purpose. Keywords cannot be used as an programmer defined identifier. The keywords you cannot use as variables, or you cannot declare them as an arrays, or you cannot declare them as an functions. The keywords cannot be used as names for variables. The standard keywords have been mentioned here: void, char, int, float, double, signed, unsigned, short, long, auto, static, register, const, struct, union, if, else, goto, for, continue, switch, case, break, default, do, while, size of, volatile, enum, extern, typedef, return. As we can see, all these keywords are in an lowercase letters. Identifiers. Identifiers are the names that are given to an programming elements such as variables, arrays, symbolic constants, functions. Basically, the identifiers are a sequence of alphabets and digits. The rules for forming an identifier names are: identifier name must be a sequence of letters and digits. Second, the identifier first character must be an alphabet. The alphabet might be an uppercase or it might be an lowercase, or the first character should be an underscore. Means the identifier first character should be an alphabet or it can be an underscore. The underscore character is considered as a letter. Names shouldn't be an keyword. Means whatever identifier names we are going to give, those identifier names should not be an keyword. That means they should not be an reserved word such as int, float, char, void, main, etc. Both uppercase letter and lowercase letters are allowed. However, they are interchangeable, and C programming is an case sensitive. That means the uppercase as well as the lowercase characters are treated different. No identifier may be an keyword. No two successive underscores are allowed. That means we cannot use a successive underscores. No special characters such as semicolon, period, exclamatory mark, blank spaces, slash, comma are permitted. Only it should be a sequence of letters and digits, and only one special character that is allowed is underscore. Examples of a legal and an illegal identifiers are as follows. So first we shall look at some of the legal identifiers. Float underscore number. This is valid because the first character is underscore, and in this one it is just a sequence of underscore and alphabets. Second, float a, it is also an valid one. Int radius underscore of underscore circle, this is also an valid one because it is just consisting of a sequence of alphabets and underscore. Char your name of 30, that is it is declaring your name as a string. This is also invalid because it consists of just the alphabets and digits, no any special symbols have been here. This is a way of declaring an string. Then we shall look at some of the illegal identifiers. For example, float, colon, e, then semicolon. So this is invalid because the variable name is started with the colon symbol. As I told, and variable name should start with either an underscore or an alphabet. Then second illegal identifier is float, for, semicolon. So here it is an illegal because the for is an keyword. As I told, the variable should not be an keyword or it should not be an reserved word. Then another one example, float 9 pi semicolon. So here 9, it is starting e with the digit. As I told, it can be a sequence of alphabets and digit and underscore, but the first character should be an underscore or it should be an alphabet, but here it is starting with an digit. For this purpose this is an invalid variable. The next another one example, float 0.3.14 semicolon. Here also it is an invalid because it is starting with a decimal point, because the first character should be an underscore or it should be an alphabet. The another one example, float 7g. Here also it is an invalid because it is starting with an digit. Then constants. The term constant means it does not change during the execution of a program. Means the variables which have been declared as an constants cannot be changed at any circumstances during the execution of a program. They remain same throughout the program. There are different types of constants in a C programming language as shown in the below diagram, and has been categorized into two different types, that is numeric constants and non-numeric constants. Again it has been divided into, a numeric constant can be divided into integer constants, a floating constant, whereas non-numeric constants can be divided into character constants and string constants. Now we shall look in detail regarding all the numeric as well as the non-numeric constant. Initially, integer and floating point constants represent numbers and they are often referred as an numeric type constants. Numeric type constants. The following rules apply to all the numeric type constant. Comma and blank spaces cannot be included within the constants. Constants can be preceded by minus sign or plus sign if desired, and if either sign does not precede, the constant is assumed to be an positive, because when we won't write sign, that means it is an positive number. The value of a constant cannot exceed specified minimum and maximum bounds, and it depends upon the type of constant which has been declared, and it depends upon the C compiler which has been used. Integer constants, these are the whole numbers without any fractional part, and the integer constant consisting of a sequence of digits. The integer constants can be divided into three types as decimal constants, octal constants and hexadecimal constant. The general form of an integer constant is sign digits, where sign indicates an optional for positive number and minus for negative numbers, and digit is a sequence of digits. As a decimal integer constant consists of any combination of digits taken from a set of 0 through 9. If the decimal constant contains two or more digits, the first digit must be something other than 0. The following are the valid integer constants. 0, it is an valid one. 1, it is also an valid one. 1 2 3 4, that is 1234, it is a valid one. Minus 786, it is also a valid one. Then some of the invalid decimal integer constants are 12,100. Here it is invalid because here we have written as comma. As I told, a constant cannot include any symbols other than optional sign and digits. Since we have used comma here, it is not a valid one. The next one, 10.0. Since it is an integer decimal constant, as I told, an integer constant cannot have a fractional part, so here it is having 0.0. It is a fractional part. For that purpose it is an invalid. The next one, 10 space 20 space 30, it is also invalid because there is a space between the digits. When we write a digits, there should not be any space between the digits. It should be a sequence of digits without any spaces. The next, 045, it is invalid because a decimal constant should not start with an 0. Then an octal integer constant. So octal integer constant can consist of any combination of digits through a set of 0 to 7. However, the first digit must be 0 in order to identify the constant as an octal number. The following are the valid integer constant. Example, 0, 0 1, 0 1 2 5, 0 355. So these are a valid octal integer constant because all of them are starting with 0. Then we shall see about some invalid integer octal constants. 2010, it is an invalid because it is not starting with 0. Then 2008, it is also an invalid because of illegal digit 8, as well as it is starting with 2 because an octal integer should start with 0. Then 05.10, it is an illegal character even though it has been starting with 0, but it is illegal because of dot which has been used. Then hexadecimal integer constant. An hexadecimal integer constant must begin with either 0x, that x might be either a capital letter or it can be a small letter. There is either it might be an uppercase or a lowercase. It can then be followed by any combination of digits taken from a set of 0 through 9 and A to F. The following are some of the valid hexadecimal integer constant: 0x0, then 0x1, then 0xab125, then minus 0x555. So these are valid because all of these are starting with 0x. This x can be either an uppercase or it can be a lowercase letter, and here whatever the digits we have used, those are within 0 to 9 and A to F. For that purpose these are an valid hexadecimal integer constant. We shall look at some of the invalid hexadecimal integer constant. For example, 0x20.10, here it is invalid because of a decimal point. Then 02008, it is not valid because it is not starting with 0x, then 0x a b c d e f g. It is illegal because the only allowed sequence of digits in case of an hexadecimal is 0 to 9 and alphabets is from a to f, but here we are having g. This g is not in hexadecimal, so for that purpose it is an invalid. Then floating point constants. So integer constant we use only for an whole numbers, but if in case when we want a real numbers, that is when we want a numbers with a decimal point, then we need a floating point constants. So a floating point constant is a base 10 number that contains either a decimal point or an exponent or both. A floating point constant can be written in two forms. One is the factorial form, another one is an exponential form. A floating point constant in a fractional form must have at least one digit each to the left and right of an decimal point. Then another one is an exponential form. A floating point in an exponential form consists of an mantissa and an exponent. The mantissa itself is represented as a decimal integer constant or a decimal floating point constant in fractional form. The letter E, either it might be an uppercase or it might be an lowercase, and the exponent follow the mantissa. The exponent must be a decimal integer. The actual number of digits in mantissa and exponent depends upon computer being used. The general form of floating constant is sign space digits space decimal point space digits, where sign is optional, plus for positive numbers and minus sign for negative numbers. Digits is a sequence of digits without any special characters. Then decimal point is a period symbol, that is a dot. Then again digits is a sequence of digits, there should not be any special characters. Some of the following are valid data point constants are 1.0, 0.1, 2e minus 4, that means 2 into 10 to the power of 4. This is in an exponential form. Then minus 0.1 555 e minus 4, this is also in case of an exponential form. Then some of the invalid floating point constants are 1 because it is not having a decimal point or an exponent. 2, 0.8, it is illegal because we have used comma. Then 2e plus 10.20, it is an illegal because the exponent must be an integer, it cannot be a decimal. Here we have used 10.20, which is an illegal. Then 3 space e10, it is an illegal because when we are writing a floating point constant, the sequence what we are going to write must be sign, digits, then period and digits. Here it is having a space. The space is not allowed in case of an floating point constants. Then character constants. So character constant is a single character enclosed in a single quotation marks. It is also called as an apostrophes. Example, within a single quote I have written character A, then again within a single quote I have written character B, then 1 within a single quotes and ampersand within a single quote and dollar symbol within a symbol quote. All these are valid because they have been written inside a single quotation marks. And characters are stored internally in computer as coded set of binary digits which have positive decimal integer equivalents. For example, in form of an ASCII value, the value of A is 65, that is a capital A. whereas a small a will be equal to 97. That means it depends upon what character set has been set for your machine. Based upon that, each of the character which has been we are using will be changing depending upon the machine which you are going to use. Then string constants. A string constant will be consisting of zero or more number of characters enclosed in an quotation marks. It is also called as a pair of double quotes. Example, within the double quotes, welcome to C programming. So here we can see I used a space. It is a valid because whatever you are going to write within a double quotes, that will be considered as a string. So here just I have written and one space within the double quotes, it is also a valid one. When I have written a plus b slash n, this is also a valid one because whatever you are going to write within a pair of double quotes or which has been enclosed within an quotation marks is considered as an string. Then this is also a valid one, that is within the double quotes error slash a and slash a. There is a difference between a constant a and which has been written within a single quotes and which has been written within a double quotes in C. Which has been written in a single quote is considered as a character constant, while which has been written in a double quotes a is considered as a string constant. The notation in a character constant occupying a single byte and containing ASCII code of a character a, whereas when it has been written within a double quotes, in that notation it is a string constant, and here it will be occupying a space of 2 bytes, one for the ASCII code of a and another one for a null character with the value 0, that is used for the purpose of terminating a string, that is it is used for the purpose of indicating an end of an. The next one, strings. A string is a group of characters enclosed in quotation marks or a pair of double quotes. A string is always embedded with a null character at the end of an string to indicate the termination of an string. So whenever we are using a string, we always write them within a double quotes or a pair of quotation marks, and it will always be added with a null character at the end to indicate the termination of an string. For example, if I store the value as Nagarjuna, so here it is consisting of 9 characters, while storing the value it will be stored as 10 characters including the null character. But when we find the length of an character, it will not give the value as 10, it will give the value as 9 because the null character is included only to indicate the termination or end of an string. Then next one is operators. A operator is a symbol which specify the operation to be carried out. For example, plus symbol which specifies the performance of addition, or it specifies that you need to perform the addition of two numbers, or even for example if we consider a minus sign which indicates a subtraction, if you write an slash, there's a backslash, it indicates that a division operation has to be performed. So operator is nothing but it is a symbol which is going to specify what kind of operation to be done or operation to be carried out. Other than digits and alphabets, the various symbols which we can use in a C programming language, those are called as special characters or as special symbols. Example, comma, semicolon, period, apostrophe, quotation marks, exclamatory mark, percentage symbol, like that. So these are the various kinds of symbols which are present in a keyboard. We can use those symbols for making programming very effective.